Alright, what's going on? Miller Killer 310 back here with another video, man. But before I hop into today's video, man, go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below on today's video, man. So without any further ado, let's hop into it. So I kind of have this theory that I want to talk about, and that is, as we know, Black Ops 7 will have little to no skill-based matchmaking featured in the game's release day one, right? And I've thought about this because, in all honesty, if you look at the recent years of Call of Duty, if you look at Call of Duty's past history within a 10-year time frame, you see that Call of Duty just really hasn't been like in the best spot, but has kind of been struggling to make ends meet. And, you know, with Black Ops 7 saying that they will have 0 to no SBMM day one, I thought it would be a really interesting idea to talk about. Can no SBMM or little to no SBMM save Black Ops 7? So let's hop into it, right? Now, skill-based matchmaking, as we know, has been a hot button topic in the Call of Duty community for years now. I'd say probably since 2019, when people really started to put pieces of the puzzle together, that skill-based matchmaking was really taking the matchmaking and just making it terrible, man. In my opinion, I knew something was up the moment I played 2019, all right? And going all the way through, like, people have just kind of gotten to a point where they're tired of, you know, essentially this matchmaking that tries to just either really go against you or really help you, right? And to be fair, I understand the reasonings behind skill-based matchmaking. It's for player retention. But has it been doing that in the past few years? I'm going to go ahead and tell you no, because numbers don't lie, sales revenue doesn't lie, and obviously Microsoft losing out $300 million due to Game Pass for Black Ops 6 is kind of telling a bigger picture story here. And with, you know, Black Ops 7 on the horizon coming out and playing the game both open beta with no SBMM and skill-based matchmaking in the game, I'm going to be real with you. I did not notice a difference. It really just didn't feel different. So did they really remove it? I don't know. But here's the thing, right? With zero, you know, skill-based matchmaking in the game, right? I feel like that is a selling point. It is like a marketing tactic to be like, hey, look, we'll give you, you know, all this garbage and all this other stuff to play Black Ops 7, and you get 0 SBMM. Now, is that going to change much of anything? I honestly am going to say no. The reason I'm going to go ahead and say this is because if I go back and play something like Black Ops 2 or World War 2 or a game that has a pretty good, decent player base with still a good amount of good players left in it, you know, I can still hold my own on a controller, right? But the issue is that I feel like I'm doing something much better in those games. I feel like I get much more understanding of the matchmaking in these games compared to if I was to go play Black Ops 6 or MW3, you know, MW2, Cold War 2019, where it really started, right? I don't feel that skill-based matchmaking being taken out of the game is going to be the saving grace factor, right? Because another thing that you got to look at here is that, you know, a lot of people are really stuck in a certain area with skill-based matchmaking, whether that be they're really good and it just doesn't affect them either way, or they're at the very bottom where they need that skill-based matchmaking to come in and really help those dudes out to give them better matches so that they can play the game longer. Or if you're kind of like me, where I'm just not really a pro, or I don't really try to play competitively all too much like that, you know, I'll take my wins and I'll take my losses. But as long as I'm doing decently, then I'm not, you know, upset, right? But you're kind of stuck in the middle. You have the understanding of Call of Duty, and I think that's where a majority of people are stuck at. They're stuck somewhere in the middle of good and bad, and that's all because the skill-based matchmaking really punishes that group, in my opinion. Like, if you are stuck in the middle, you are getting the worst of the worst when it comes to skill-based matchmaking. And I felt that day one with Black Ops 7, and even after they took it out, it still felt like I couldn't fucking do anything. So I'm not going to waste my time, right? Am I going to still play Black Ops 7 and give it a shot? Absolutely. Am I going to see where it takes me? Possibly. We have to wait and see, right? But another thing that I think really is not, you know, going to help this argument in this case here is that Call of Duty, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people's opinion, it has strived away from the simple formula that made Call of Duty good, right? If you go back and play, COD 4, World at War, MW2, MW3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, right? You see the formula is very much the same throughout all those games, right? Perks change, guns change, maps change, right? Aesthetic changes, right? Timeline changes, genre changes, all that good stuff, right? It's all a change, but the formula is still there. Like, it was such a simple concept for people to grasp, to get good at. Whereas now, you have all these different mechanics, whether it be through mouse and keyboard, controller, movement, essentially the new creator class that has been here since like 2019, that just really feels weird and awkward now, like where it just feels like you can just throw anything on your gun and you don't have to think it through, whereas the older Call of Duties was more methodical to those approaches, right? The formula has changed. It has, vastly been different for years now compared to what the old Call of Duties used to feel like, and it's that simple magic. It's those simple gimmicks, those simple tricks that I think is what made Call of Duty so good in the first place. That's like saying if, Minecraft went to, basically having the game look realistic as possible, right? And started putting circles and all this other stuff. You can slap the title Minecraft on it. Sure, it's called Minecraft, but is that really Minecraft fundamentally? No. It's the same thing here with Call of Duty. You can throw a bunch of other stuff in there, but does that fundamentally make it Call of Duty? I don't really think so, guys. And I think that because no skill-based matchmaking and the massive changes that this game has undergone within, 6-7 year time frame? 6-7. You see what I'm saying? So with that, I don't think skill-based matchmaking not being in the game is going to save Black Ops 7. It's going to take them actually buckling down and listening and bringing back the formula that made COD great. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you here on today's video. If you like today's video, please go ahead, hit that like, and be sure to hit that subscribe. But also, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to leave your comments and your thoughts down below. But other than that, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Not. It's Corbius.